right, hey everybody, Jeff here. Had a pretty good weekend. Had a lot of things going on. If you all are subscribed to my channel, which you probably are if you're watching this, you notice I posted a couple band videos on Saturday. Anyway, yeah, I'm not in a band anymore. I quit last year. We kind of broke up, but we got invited to play a fundraiser show on the 23rd of June that we had played last year in June, which was one of our last 2 or 3 gigs. We played it, and then 1 or 2 gigs, and then called it quits. Well, they liked us so much back then that they contacted us this year, I guess not knowing we broke up, and everybody's like, yeah, we'll do it, We've been off for a year, but let's do it. Well, then another opening happened on Saturday. It was just an hour-long slot. Probably was on about 45 minutes, actually. And we got word on it on Thursday, hey, do y'all want to play this? And we're like, sure. So we had only practiced one time because we haven't started gearing up for the June one. We played it, came out well. One of our guitar players was gone, so we played it as a 4-piece, so it kind of felt weird to us in some of the spots. But and it came out pretty good, so I posted the videos my wife had taken. Anyway, so that's what that was about. If you're wondering, why the heck did Jeff post videos? Anyway, that's just recently me playing in the band. But that was on Saturday. When did I go to the store? Oh, before I went to that show, I had to go get my drum stool at church where it was. On the way there, I passed a record store and had my wife drop me off. And she went on and got the drum stool, and she left me there for a few minutes because I said, I know there's something there that I want to get. They send a list out on their Facebook page saying, here's the new used albums that are coming in on Tuesday. They give you just band names, and I had seen someone there that I wanted. I didn't get by there Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, so I thought maybe they're gone, but it was Saturday. I said, I need like 10 minutes. I know exactly where they're going to be. They got little bins. This is what's new for this week. And so she dropped me off. I went in there, and I found all 3 of them. One of them I didn't want. It turned out to be a single and not actually an album, but then I found a 4th one that I really did want that I got. Anyway, so here's what I picked up. Crocus the Blitz. Now, a couple of videos ago I showed that I got one of these and it was all warped crazy. I still got it over there. It was all warped. Same store, so this is a newer version. And of course I checked it thoroughly. And it's in really good condition, so I thought, okay, I'm going to buy it. It's not warped or anything. So anyway, so I grabbed this. So a little bit of Crocus. And then this was one that I wanted, is the Rough Cut. They mentioned Rough Cut. I wasn't sure what they were going to have. I assumed it was probably going to be this, but it would have been nice if it would have been the second album. I just this album back in the day, loved it, still love it, love Rough Cut, love everything about them, and so it was just great to get this on vinyl. And it was in real good condition, so no complaints. And the guy told me, he says, yeah, we got some pretty good metal in, so you got lucky coming in this time. So anyway, and then this one was the one that I didn't know about that caught me off guard that I really am glad I saw. But Grand Prix Samurai. Now, if you don't know anything about this band, it's an 80s band, but this is and they're kind of a hard rock, borderline metal for that day. One of the first albums back in the day when Robin McAuley, one of his original bands. This is before he joined in with Michael Schenker and with the McAuley Schenker group. So I had this back in the day on album, and then, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, sometime picked it up on CD. And so now we have it, I got it again on vinyl, so I was really impressed with that. So, and it was in real good condition, so yeah. Anyway, so that was unexpected, but neat to have. Now then, went to the show, played the show. It's way out on the other side of town. After the show, I noticed next door was a Antique Mall. Antique Mall and garage sale store. So I'm like, let's go in there. We had some time before we had to pick up the kids, so swung by there. And of course, it looks like an antique. I mean, it's not an antique. It looks more like a pawn shop, but more like a garage sale. Stuff everywhere, just stuff everywhere. But of course, my wife actually pointed out, hey, the vinyl's over there. So ran over there, and the vinyl was in okay condition. It wasn't like really organized as it is in thrift stores. It's just thrown around. It's like they don't seem to care. This was a little better than some thrift stores I've seen, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through this. They had some up here in these bins, which seemed easy enough to get to, but then they had some down here on the floor, and I hate the stuff on the floor. And they had stuff in boxes, and then stuff stacked on top of that other stuff, and I'm like, my wife's not going to sit here and let me go through all of this. But believe it or not, she did. She was looking all around. So I first went through the top boxes, and the first thing caught my eye was they had a copy of Kiss Destroyer, and I grabbed it and found out it was fairly flimsy here. It's just the cover. Why do they do that? I hate that when you get the cover. It's like, throw the cover away or something. I guess people, maybe they want a cover, or maybe stole the album. I don't know. So the first thing that actually caught my eye in the top bins was this Rare Earth Get Ready. Now I'm going to tell you, this is the fun things of being in the vinyl community. I don't really know anything about this band. I think I've heard the name over the years. It's a classic band. This is from 1969, and it's on Motown Records. Nice looking bunch of guys there. I don't know anything about these guys, but I believe Steve over on Value Vinyl had shown somebody sent him a copy, and I don't know. He seemed thrilled about it, excited about it, and I thought, I want to check these guys out. Here it is. This was one of the only ones that had a price on it. It was $4.99, which is usually more than I want to buy a thrift store for, but everything else it was like $2. But I thought, well, let's check it out. I mean, it's neat to get things from the 60s, especially when it looks like, classic rock type stuff. So quickly pulled it up on Spotify to find that it is on Spotify. And I listened to like the first 60 seconds of the first song, and I said, yeah. So went with that. But yeah, so pulled it up on Spotify, gave it a quick listen. I thought, yeah, I want to buy this. This is cool. There's this nostalgia to me about getting, an older album from, I would have been 3 years old at this time. But especially when it comes out, when it sounds pretty good. And then, of course, I, like a lot of other people, can, start looking at albums and judging them based on when I pulled this out and found that it was, the top was in this side. I thought, I bet you it's in pretty good condition. And it's got the Rare Earth, interesting label. I think that was something they were talking about. And then I pulled it out, and it was just, I don't see a fingerprint or anything. I don't even see dirt or anything. It looks like it's been rarely, if anything, played. So, of course, that made it that much more worth checking out. So I laid that aside. The Kiss was a failure. I laid this aside. And it was nice to see that this place wasn't filled with just a bunch of the old, soundtracks at 50 stuff and Tijuana Brass and all that. It actually had some pop and stuff that was not stuff that I would buy, but it was modern music, so I thought that's cool. I also noticed then as I go in a little deeper, they started having, a decent amount of like Christian rock stuff. And I ran across copy of Rick Kua's No Mystery. Now I already have this, but for like the price, it was a little worn on here. And then I opened it again, and it was in really good condition. I thought, I got to rescue it. Somebody out there will need this, so it's an extra, and I do have it, and I will probably eventually give it to someone. So then that was about it for the top two bins, and then I thought, well, let's sit down and go over here. So I found something to sit on and started going through the bottom stuff. At first it was, I found a lot of funk type stuff and, stuff that wasn't really of much appeal. And then I would go through batches where there was, some religious music, some gospel music, a little bit of, Christian rock type stuff. And I thought, well, seems like they got some stuff in here. Well, then I found this. Now, the second chapter of Acts. They're a harmony group. I had a couple of their hymns albums back in the day. I mean, this is not really the style that I like, but this is like, early Christian Jesus People type movement music. This is from 1974, and honestly, I've never seen this album before. It's second chapter of Acts with footnotes. So I'm like, just because it was interesting to me, I've seen a lot of their stuff, but I like Matthew Ward. I like his solo stuff. I really like his later solo stuff. One of his albums, Warrior Fortress, has Dean Castronova playing drums on it. Oh, I love that album as a whole. Anyway, but he's part of the vocal group. But again, I opened it up and found that it was for 1974, it was in just pristine condition. It was in one of these heavy duty sleeves. Now, in the same sleeve was the second album. I thought this was a double album, but then I pulled out the second album, and it was Honey Tree, Evergreen. Now, I already have this. I bought this a few months back at another thrift store for literally 20 cents or so. Actually, it's right here. It's a little rougher. The cover's a little bit rougher. The album itself is not in bad condition. It's not real, it has a minor pops and cracks. This is from 75. And again, it's not necessarily my style of music, but the reason I was drawn to it is because a lot of the guitar work on here was Phil Keaggy. They seem to be really friends. Even today, I guess, when she plays sometimes in concert, he's there. And when he's in concert, she sometimes helps out. So, but what I saw this as was an upgrade. Like I said, the vinyl's not bad here. The cover's got some wear and tear. There are some pops and cracks, but overall not bad. This one looks to be, I haven't listened to it yet, but it looks to be in much better condition. The cover's in much better condition. It does seem to have a split there, but it's still got a gloss to it. It doesn't have a lot of ring wear. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to leave it in the bag. I now ask him what to do. So I got up there and I'm like, because there was a lot of albums that had 2 or 3 stuffed in one thing, and I thought, I wonder if they're selling them that way because they're older or whatever. So I went up there and asked him, do you include both of them, or whatever. If you want to take it out and charge me for both, that's fine. He said, no, I'll give them to you, both. So I'm flipping through the stuff on the floor. It's getting harder to get to. Now you got to reach back, and the stuff. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm leaning back, and then this records go back into this box beyond where I could reach really. So I got to the point where it was becoming a little difficult to reach in, and I thought, I'm not going through all this. I'm sure my wife wants to leave by now. She hasn't said a word, but, she's probably going to leave right now. But, whatever. So I flipped a couple more albums, and boom. Then look at that. Glad I went further. A sealed copy of Mylon and Broken Hearts Face the Music. Sealed. Now, of course, this did have a price on it, too, so it wasn't real the cheapest, but still. I haven't opened it yet. I'm planning on, I think I'm going to. I really want this album. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know, because I see that online open copies go for $15, $10 to $15. Sealed copy would probably be, do I sell it? Do I keep it? I haven't decided. Anyway, I'm glad I flipped. I bought it. I'm like, flip, flip, flip. Got to get it. Oh, wait a minute. Flip, flip, flip. Look at that. Flip back here. A sealed copy of Mad at the World's first album. Oh, now, these are not impossibly hard to get. I got one of these like a year or so ago. Gerda Music seemed to have a batch of these, and they still do. And they sell this for like $9. But here's one in the wild, in sealed, for like $2. So, again, I may just sell this one, pass on to somebody else for $5 or so. Flip, 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 boom, Res Band Colors. Now I have this already too. I need to compare this with the one I have to see if it is, which one is an upgrade or whatever. But again, for the price, I had to rescue it. Figure I could pass it on. Already found somebody to pass it on with. It'll probably be going in the mail in the next day or two. So here's some VCLT. Flip, flip, flip. Boom, Servant. World of Sand. Again, I already have this one. Again, for the price, it was, even mine is in really good condition. This one's in really good condition. Neat thing about this, it comes with the 7-inch single. Mine has it, this one has it, so it's all in here. It's got an inner sleeve sheet and everything. Real good condition, and I thought, okay, well, for the price, I have to rescue it. VCLT, again, passing this one on, already got it called for. It's going. Flip, flip, flip. Boom, Mile of Ever and Broken Heart. A Sheep in Wolf's Clothing. It wasn't sealed, but, hey, I opened it up. The album was facing correct. The album opening. And it's got just very, very minor. Probably could, once I clean it, it'll probably come out really good. Been wanting to get this on vinyl. Bought a couple of at least 1 or 2 vinyls prior to this from somebody that is in the mail to me coming soon. But anyway, so I was glad to get this. Make it 2 vinyl, Mile and vinyl on the same time. And then flip, flip, flip. Here's a copy of Amy Grant, Father's Eyes. I almost got this the other day at a thrift store. I just keep passing over because it's not high on my list, but here it was. Again, opened it up, looked at it, and it was in really good condition. I have most of her early stuff, and I thought, hey, for the collection, let's get it. So I grabbed that. So my wife picked up a couple things, and we came out of the whole shop with like a $25 bill, and I came out of there with a stack of albums. So it was a great day. I want to go back at some point. I don't know. I think I did go through everything, so I don't think they have anything else I need, but they had a bunch of comic books here I was going to take a look at. She's like, we don't have time for you to go through the comic books now. I'm like, okay. I took a glance at the room and was just spotting around, and I'm like, okay, these are all comic books from like at least the 90s, and I'm definitely more of a want to get the ones. Most of my collection is from the 70s and early 80s. So these were all older, newer stuff. So I'm like, I'm not as interested. So, but it was a great day. It was a great little find, and it was a great weekend of scoring some things that were very reasonably priced. Anyway, thanks for watching. More to come. Rock on.